Hi there, my name is Jason Perkins. I'm an attorney who specializes in Georgia workers' compensation cases. I'd like to welcome you to another episode in my Georgia workers' compensation video series. I created this series of videos to provide people who've been injured at work with helpful information about Georgia workers' compensation law and the benefits available to them under that law. Today I want to talk to you about a specific type of injury that often happens at work, and that's what's known as a slip and fall or trip and fall. Now, that type of injury is exactly what it sounds like. You slip and fall or trip and fall at work and suffer an injury as a result of that. Now, there's a few things that are important to consider if you've suffered this type of injury at work. The first thing is that workers' compensation may not be the only benefit available to you. In some situations, if you suffer a slip and fall or trip and fall at work, you may have a personal injury case as well. That depends on whether someone was negligent in creating the condition that resulted in your injury, and also whether the person that or entity that was negligent was your employer or co-employee or someone else. Now, in most situations where it was your employer or co-employee who was negligent, you can't file a personal injury case against them. Workers' compensation is usually your exclusive remedy. However, there are some situations where you suffer a slip and fall or trip and fall at work where it may be another entity or individual other than your employer or co-employee who created that hazard that resulted in your injury. In that situation, you may be able to pursue a personal injury case as well. A second thing that you need to be aware of is that employers and insurance companies are more often fighting slip and falls and trip and falls at work. And this has to do with kind of an evolution in the workers' compensation law that's focused on what's known as an idiopathic type injury. So often when people get injured at work as a result of a slip and fall or trip and fall now, insurance companies may try to deny their claim. They may claim that the reason that they fell at work was not to do with anything work-related, but it was something to do with them just falling on their own. Now, this can happen a lot when someone faints or has a stroke or something else that leads to them falling, and they have a health condition that's really what's known as idiopathic or personal to them that causes the fall, resulting in injury. But more and more insurance companies, when people actually slip or trip, are claiming that the person can't demonstrate that it was their workplace that caused them to slip or trip. And they'll ask questions about why they slipped and fell. Did they slip on anything particular? Did they notice what was wet in the floor? Did they trip on something unusual, or were they just tripping over their own feet? So don't be surprised if you suffer a slip and fall or trip and fall if the insurance company files something denying paying you workers' compensation benefits. What you should do in this situation is reach out to an attorney to find out if this denial was proper or not. Because many times when insurance companies are denying benefits in these situations, you can actually prove that your injury was work-related and receive workers' compensation benefits. Hope you found this video about slip and falls and trip and falls at work helpful. If you have, please let me know that. The best way you can do that is by liking this video or giving it a thumbs up. Now, if you have more questions about Georgia workers' compensation law or just interested in finding out more information, there's a few different ways you can do that. One is by visiting our Perkins Studdard Workers' Compensation channel, where you can find all the videos from the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Another is by reaching out to me if you have some specific questions about your case. You can either go to our website, which is www.perkinsstuddard.com, and complete and submit a free consultation request form there to set up a time to talk to me, or you can call us directly at the phone number on the bottom of the screen. I'd like to thank you for watching today, and we'll wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injury.